Well, if people can't already tell, I'm here with the legendary Narada Michael Walden.
Good to see you, man.
Yeah, thank you so much for welcoming us to Tarpan Studios.
Thank you.
And today we're going to be going down memory lane, taking you to some places you've been before, but hopefully you can help us sort of all remember some of the amazing artists that you've worked with, not only as a producer like Whitney Houston, Mariah Carey. We're also going to get into maybe some people that are less talked about that you've worked with, like Shanice, Lisa Fischer, among them, and get into...
She was here last week.
She was here. Mm-hmm. Absolutely a legend and such a great talent, not only as a solo artist, but as a background vocalist and session singer. And get to talk about your work with Beck, Manhavishnu Orchestra, and a little bit about your origin story, and get to take people through that. So thank you again for having us. I'm just so honored.
Thank you too.
So I want to start with Whitney Houston. And as we're coming into the studio, of course, we see all the platinum albums and all that stuff. And I've heard you talk about, sort of for historical context, that you were working with Aretha Franklin heavily during that time, very instrumental in sort of her renaissance in the mid 80s. And Whitney Houston was brought to you. Was this by Clive Davis, or who was it that first kind of pitched you the idea about producing her?
His name is Jerry Griffith.
Jerry Griffith.
Yeah, he worked for Clive at Arista. Mm-hmm. And he was the one that first saw Whitney and then turned Clive onto her, how great she was and all that. And I was making the album for Aretha Absolutely True when I got a phone call from Jerry. And he said, you really have to take a moment and produce a song for this young artist, Whitney Houston. And I said flatly, no. I'm so focused on Aretha right now. On this album, I can't, lose my focus. And he said, well, wait a minute, you got to stop and think about something. This is Sissy Houston's daughter. And I went back in my mind and thought, oh yeah, she's saying on my first solo album, Crying Love Light, on that song. And in the corner was a little 11-year-old girl. That would be Whitney. Mm. And she was beautiful then. But I still didn't have time to do the thing. He said, well, we have a song idea. It's not finished really, but we have a song idea. So what is it sent to me? They sent me How Will I Know. Mm-hmm. It would be a chorus. Mm-hmm. And I said, okay, it's a great chorus. You better ask the writers if I can write some verse or something. But I'm going to actually do this. So he got all the writers, Shannon Rubicam and George Merrill. Yeah. And they said, okay. So I went to the piano and banged out some verse idea. And on the same session of Aretha, here in San Francisco at the Automat Studios with Randy Jackson, bass, Corrado Ricci on guitar, and Preston Glass, Walter Sanavi, who were my cats at the time, David Frazier, my engineer. We just banged out the How Will I Know in a matter of hours. And I had to call Whitney Houston on the phone to ask her, could she sing super high? Because I had not met her yet. Because I was going to make the song start high. There's a boy, I know, he's the one I dream of. High. Mm-hmm. So I asked her, can you sing high? She goes, yeah, I can sing high. Mm-hmm. I said, okay, because guess what? I'm recording the thing over here in San Francisco. I'm going to bring tape to you in New York. And if it's too high, you're stuck. So she said, no, I can sing high. Mm-hmm. So I then finished cutting that jam and got like a demo singer to come blow it out so that Whitney can then have a copy of what we're doing and learn it. Mm-hmm. And I'm so glad I did, because when I got to New York, she knew the song cold.
So you had a demo singer sing it out here?
Yeah.
Kitty Beethoven, or who was it?
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love Kitty.
Yeah.
And when I got to New York, Whitney came in looking like $1 million. Mm-hmm. And my engineer was Michael Barbiero, had the room sounding beautiful, like our room sounds beautiful. And Whitney came in, I met her again, and she was 19, looking so sweet. And I asked her to go on the microphone and just sing the song. And she made a hit. I was so surprised from the top to the bottom. She just killed it. And I said, do it again. And she did. Do it a third time. She did. I said, okay, well then guess what? Let's add a harmony over here, a little part here, a little thing here. And it can be done. That's how well she knew it. And then when she came in to come and hear the playback, that's when the Muhammad Ali moment hit me of who I was really dealing with. Mm. And what a huge star she's about to become. Mm. Because she looked at me like the speakers are blaring with that How I Know. Mm-hmm. And she's looking at me like, are you hearing that? Are you hearing that? you recognizing what that is?
Mm-hmm.
She gave me that kind of look.
Mm-hmm.
No one does that. No one does that. And that freaked me out.
Mm-hmm.
That she would be that overly confident
Right.
with the sound that she was making out of her body.
Mm-hmm.
Mind you, she was rail thin,
Mm-hmm.
but the sound would be like a 300-pound woman, strong,
Mm-hmm.
powerful. Like, so that's when it really hit me. Like, damn, now I understand what's going on. Now I'm getting why they made me do this song. Why I had to stop what I was doing for Aretha to do this song.
Mm-hmm.
They had eyes to make this girl a major star,
Mm-hmm.
and she's going to be one. That's when it all hit me.
Did you have a sense immediately that this was going to be a hit when you started doing kind of the production of the rhythm section?
I always make a hit.
Yeah.
Everything I do, I feel like I make it happy, make it feel good, try to get goosebumps, try and feel like, yeah, that's my crew. You into this? Put your heart on it. So everything we do, I think it can be a smash.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
If I'm honest.
So you have a pretty good hit-o-meter?
I do.
Yeah.
I do. And what that means is the chorus is strong. What that means is I can imagine a stadium. I can imagine in the UK, in Japan, around the world, them sing it. I try not to complicate it so everyone can sing it.
Mm.
Yeah.
Now, when you got the demo from George and Shannon, was it just like a scratch vocal and some piano? Or do you remember kind of the state of the demo?
No, I really don't. If I'm honest about it. I just remember it had a strong hook.
Yeah.
That's what I was laying for.
Well, they've got that always. You know,
Yeah,
they've got more hooks than the
And I
tackle
didn't meet them
box.
at that time. I didn't know them. Like now I know them.
Yeah.
Now I know how beautiful they are.
Yeah.
What great people they are.
Yeah.
You know, and Shannon's so soulful and George is so soulful.
Yeah.
But at that time I didn't know. I was just, you know, wanting to hear what the buzz was going to be, what we could build on, what we could make. Like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I mean, ultimately I'm being hired to be a producer to give them a hit record.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm responsible for that.
And was it originally thought that you would just be producing this as a single, or was the idea that you would also do the whole record?
No. Just this one song.
That was it. And then that sort of materialized into other songs on that first record?
No, I only did one song the first time.
You only did that one song?
I only did How Will I Know.
That was it?
That was it.
But that was the biggest song on the whole thing?
Well, what it was, they first put out You Give Good Love to Me by Kashif.
Mm-hmm.
And that was intentional to get the mom and pop black stations, black store shops, record shops.
Yeah, can you talk about that? Because there was like a staggering of like how people would do singles with African American artists because they had to like make it palatable to white radio.
At this time in our history, in breaking a new black artist, it was always empowering to let the people know at the grassroots level about that artist and get their endorsement. So you don't look like you're skipping over them. Mm-hmm. And that would not work. So yeah, it was very intentional to put out R&B sound on Whitney first and then kind of grow it into being Saving Good Love, Saving All My Love for You, Saving All My Love for You. That then spread international. Mm-hmm. Another number one record for her. Mm-hmm. And then came How I Know and just exploded everything. Yeah. And then came the one I didn't understand how she was going to cut it, because she was explaining it to me when I did How I Know. She said, I'm going to cut a song, Greatest Love of All. Mm-hmm. I'm going, the George Benson Greatest Love? She said, yeah. So I'm thinking, how are you going to make that a hit? Mm-hmm. But she did. Mm-hmm. Her version, her arrangement, her soul, her feeling into it was so intense. People just look, oh my God. So Greatest Love of All became another smash for her. So yeah, man. Yeah. Whitney was on fire. And that first album exploded around the world so strong that Clive Davis was like really wanting to keep the momentum going, and then asked me about doing the second album.
Right, and that's when you started working on Whitney.
Yes,
in 1987, which also
in this room.
Now
I'm in this room.
And did she do any recording of that record in this room, or was it sort of a similar thing where you would sort of build the?
Slow down. She came here.
Okay,
we cut 6 songs that Clive gave me in this room. I laid everything out: the lead vocals, background vocals, everything. So when she got here, she could sit down and I could play the songs to her and show them that they were now cut for her. They were no longer just demos. They were her records for her, with our intention for her, the sound for her, enough R&B in it for her, enough soul in it for her, enough spit and fire and gumption for her. Mm-hmm. Then she was like, oh, I get it.
And were her vocals typically overdubs, or were there ever times that she would do it with the band?
At that time, Whitney's time would be so short. I would have for the second album, if she was here maybe 4 days at most, something like that. And my sessions with her would be like 3 hours long. So she'd come in, hear the song. For example, just to tell you the complete story, the first song that we worked on for her would be something that she knew. It was called "For the Love of You," the Whitney, the Isley Brothers song.
Yeah.
She said, "I know that song. I can do that one." So we started with that one. And what was magic about that was when she sang her lead, then we started doing harmonies. I could put 5, 10 on that side, 5, 10 more harmonies on that side. So that when she would come in to hear the playback, she was hearing for the first time all her voices, like angels on the speakers, all the harmony work. So that really moved her and gave her breath and gave her inspiration because she was tired because she's traveling around so much. But now hearing all her own voices for the first time, stacked up, that will be the sound and the birth of this next second album now. And it gave her a lot of inspiration. So that for the next day, we jumped into "I Want to Dance With Me Loves Me." So now she's happy going into that song. And you can hear it in the record. You know, all the little things she's doing. And the ending came out of her. When I got to the part of the song, like the ending, she started singing, "Say you want to dance, don't you want to dance?" Dance.
The call and response kind of thing.
Yes, that just came out of her. Because she was happy. And that's her genius. So I was like, oh, we got to change all the backing parts to go with that part now. So we did.
Wow.
And then she came in to hear the playbacks, and then she was strong again with me. Like, listen to that sound. I was like, yeah, she was loving it.
Yeah.
And that's what I want to say about Whitney Houston. To all singers and all people, to your cameras and to you, that she loved the sound of her voice, which is really important for a producer like me, that you work with someone who really has a love for themselves and what they do, what comes out of their body. Like Aretha's like that too. Aretha's just sat there in awe to hear her voice. Whitney the same way, but she'd be in awe. Like what she did, she was witnessing on a playback to hear it back. Like, you see what I mean?
Yeah.
It was above us, above her, above me, above everything. Like the music is up here somewhere. We're like looking at it in wonder. That's how it would be.
Wow.
Yeah.
Can you talk about the importance of the session musicians that you used on
Absolutely.
because there's a lot of overlap in those two songs with Corrado Rustici and Walter A. and Randy Jackson are all kind of part of that. What was sort of the order of operations? Yep.
And David Frazier, my engineer.
What was the order of events as far as like when you would start to build the track? Like who would you record first? Like a lot of this had synthesizer, drum machine. What was kind of the order?
Now that's a big question because now it depends on every song is different. Nothing's ever the same. But in my case, I will always go to a piano and bang the song out first to understand and arrange the song. Then after that, go to drum machines to find out the right groove and pocket to make that song a hit. That's where it starts for me. The right changes, the right feeling on the piano, and then getting the drum machines to feel like the right enough soul on a machine, the right pocket for the machine, and then getting that to hook up with Dave Frazier, SMPTE code, so we can have 40 tracks now, not just one tape of 24, 48 track. So we have to go through all those gyrations to sync those drum machines up with basic chords to how I want it to go. So we can build off that skeleton the rest of the refinement of the song. So it'd be a real process. And Preston Glass would help with that. Walter would help with that. Randy Jackson, who'd be in this room with Corrado in the same room, all of us, when I wanted, then add to the machines, them playing to it. Now they're going to be in this room in here, right in here with us. Playing right in off those speakers. Corrado, ching, off those speakers, no headphones. They're actually jamming to the machines we put down.
Wow.
Then I go out and over to my drums on top of that.
So you'd have them playing basically live, but in the control room.
Here.
Wow.
That way it could be like, not have to be so mechanical to have to fudge around. No, you're hearing like you're actually playing live on a stage.
Were most of those guitar parts in bass, were those all DI'd or were there?
Yes, you have both. DI and Corrado would also like the mic and amp.
Do you remember what
Corrado
he used?
would be like a cat from Italy, right?
Yep.
He's Italian. So he's very genius to know the European standard of sound and their taste, as well as America, but he could mix the worlds. And that's part of our charm, is him being so knowledgeable of all people. So you asked about his amp. At that time, I'm not sure what he would be using, a PV or what he was into. I remember PV being a big deal at that time. You know?
Yeah.
I could ask him, he'd know.
Yeah. How did you even find him? Like to like how did you assemble this
story?
This
a big
group?
Story. Okay. Let's go back to Cutting Wire in 1975 with Jeff Beck. I'm at George Martin's studio, Air London Studios. My second time working with George Martin after Apocalypse Manhavishnu Orchestra, my first time. I'm now back there in 75 doing Wire with Jeff Beck, with George Martin.
Which you wrote several songs on.
Yeah. Well, down the hall at the studio was Corrado Rustici with his band Nova. I happened to walk down the hall and poke my head in, and they were cutting jazz rock fusion in there. I'm like, who are these cats? And it was Corrado and Ilio on sax and his band down there. And we became instant friends. I said, well, you want to meet Jeff? Yeah. So I brought him back in to meet George Martin and meet Jeff Beck. Just like that. And, we have a few dinners together because I'm in London for a while now. And we became friends. And I then was invited by him to cut on the next Nova album, which I did, called Vimana. And I was also asked after that to then produce the next album after that, which I did. They had another drummer named Rick Parnell, who was brilliant. So that's how Corrado and I became really, really close. And then once I came to America, or I was in San Francisco, I invited him to come visit me, and he loved it. He stayed. And he joined my band over here, my little touring band. And he played on the Dance of Life album. I Should Have Loved You, all that stuff. And he learned the funk so brilliant because he's really rhythmic. So he played the funk hardcore, and then he could do the jazz rock fusion solos like Manhavishnu. So I found the perfect guy at that time in my life. And then in recording, he was very meticulous to get all these cool sounds and whatever would be the next wave. So he was a godsend, Corrado. He wanted to be a great producer himself now.
Is he back in Italy or is he still?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, no, now he was for a while. Now he lives in Germany.
Wow.
Raising a family.
Wow.
Two little kids, a boy and a girl.
Wow.
So I'm very tight with Corrado.
And was he a strat guy for most of the Whitney Houston stuff? It sounds like
yes,
it's like a
but
single
you really should ask him all the detail because he'll tell you exactly. But yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
But for example, on the beginning of the George Michael Aretha Franklin record, I knew you were waiting for me.
Yeah.
You hear a lot of bells and chimes and instruments. That's all him.
Really?
That's guitar going through the synthesizer.
Wow, because he had those MIDI guitars that he would use,
That's what I'm
right?
saying.
Yeah.
That would be all new sounds we had never heard. It was so cool.
Yeah.
We had to use on the intro of the record.
Yeah, he had like these MIDI Charvels.
So you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, that's it.
Wow, I had no idea.
That's it, man. That guy was always cutting edge and pushing me. And he would say, that's the hit.
Interesting.
Like, that's your best. That's great. You know what I mean? He loved that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So was Randy. Randy would be like, that's the hit. That's it. That was part of the magic of that crew. They would
so
often
underrated.
be on me like, that's the one. And I'd feel more juice, more energy with them because they were such great musicians. You got to know, these cats I had with me could play anything.
Yeah.
And that's the magic.
Yeah.
You want cats that can play anything in the pop music.
Yeah.
Because then pop music got this high flair about it.
Yeah. Absolutely.
The nostrils open.
He's such an underrated guitar player because when I first heard those songs, I thought, Narada must have hired Paul Jackson Jr. because it has some of those rhythm sensibilities. And then you hear him go into like a lead sound or something like that, and it could have been Dan Huff or like a Carlos Rios or something like that. And then when you hear him on Freeway of Love, he's kind of doing almost like the chick sounds that you would hear from who am I thinking of? Cornell Dupree. He's got to do like the upstroke thing. Like he's got such a toolbox of things that he can draw from.
He, first of all, I must say is brilliant, but he also had an eye-opening experience with all of us on tour. We opened up for Brothers Johnson and Rufus.
Wow.
And Tony Maiden.
Wow.
So watching Tony play every night, watching Louis Johnson with his brother.
Yep.
And that world. And then on those tours would be like Lakeside. Serious funk bands. And the world they would bring to the stages with the guitar work would be of its own. Serious rhythm and just grit. So Corrado was able to assimilate all that into his jazz rock fusion world.
Mm.
and then learn what would work to these audiences. Because you might play a jazz rock fusion thing, they'd be over their head maybe. But if you play another kind of thing, a funk thing, they go, oh yeah, that's it. Or play basic blues hardcore, that's it.
Yeah.
So he learned the audience. When he did that, it was over.
Was Ray Parker on that tour?
No,
Rufus
but we love him.
Yeah.
We adore Ray. Same kind of cat.
Yeah.
Understanding of all great music, a great musician, a great artist.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
How'd you find Walter?
Funny story again. I'm now in the city at the Automat Studios, David Rubenson's studio, where I cut a lot of the basic stuff of How Will I Know, even Freeway of Love, some of the early Angela Bofield. And over there across the street was SIR. And at SIR, there was a cat over there playing named Walter, and he had his great Rhodes. And the Rhodes were so cool, we said, can we borrow your Rhodes? So we borrowed his Rhodes on some of the sessions.
Did he have one of those Dynamite piano ones? Remember that?
It was really cool. You know what I mean? Then over time, we started disliking him because he could just really play nicely too. And I realized how eager he was. You know, some people are really like mellow, but he had a tenacious ability of wanting to like please me and work things out. And so I kind of took him under the wing. He became one of the cats. And over time, just was able to just grow and grow and grow to be the Walter he is now.
Yeah, because you were basically his mentor, right? You were, because he became a super producer on his own, and you were kind of his
mentor.
nickname
was Baby Love.
That's right.
Call him Baby Love. Because he reminded me of a baby, very sweet, but then became like a beast. Real beast.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, he's a programming genius. Walter A. is a programming genius. And not only that, like I told you about the jazz rock type fusion guys, he can play like that.
Yeah.
We had a band called The Warriors. Yeah. With Randy on bass, me on drums, Walter on keyboards, writing compositions, and Joaquin Leovino guitar, another genius. And these cats could play anything. So that's, again, I love these guys who are so broad and then focus them on the funk, on whatever it was. Yeah.
What about Randy? How did you come to meet Randy Jackson?
Randy, I'm with Manhavishnu Orchestra days. He's playing with Billy Cobham. And we met at the Santa Monica Civic. And met backstage, and you know, he was a loving guy, so gregarious of spirit, open-heartedness and laughter, and wise beyond measure. And I just took to him because I could see he was just great. And then at some point he moved here. He moved to the Bay Area. And after I worked with T.M. Stevens, the great bass player, and T.M. was in New York, and T.M. couldn't come out here all the time to fly back and forth, we brought Randy on to see what he could do with us. It would be a high chair to fill because TM's level is genius. So Randy came in and he was like gangbusters and could play everything. Little did I know he played the Moog synthesizer. Now that was a whole other thing. He played with one finger technique. Everything's one finger, but the sound and the way he play it would be so, you hear it. How I Know, I Want to Dance with Love, all that records, all those musics. So I'm a real fan of Randy and his ability as an A&R type cat with his ears to go, yeah, man, that's it. Because he can speak for the people. And you see that even on those TV shows of American Idol, he can just kind of call it. He got that kind of intuition. So Randy became a close friend of mine and a confidant in the records I built. We must have recorded 50, almost 100 different records. And I would always look to him, what do you think? What do you think? You feel it? And if he could feel it, it'd be a smash.
Would he ever want to overdub any of the synths with real bass, or would you ever ask him to do that? Or was it
it could be. Usually he'd find what he wanted pretty quickly. We went through a period where the synthesizer bass became the new sound. Right. And it was like the new way to have edge with Prince, to knock him back. Knock back Quincy or Michael, whoever they were, because we had the new power. The machines gave us the power to knock folks back. That's what it is. Just acoustic drums, as great as they are, wasn't the power to knock folks back only anymore. Once people got the taste of what machines could do, they could attack. And all the new sounds you do, all the little sounds you can do, get into, it became the new flavor. So to be competitive, you had to have that down. And Randy was also good at knowing how to do that, make new sounds. The Moog synthesizer was a new thing, man, for the bass. And he championed it.
Yeah. Yeah, well, it was putting bass players out of work, when you first started seeing like...
it's how you look at stuff. I mean, I can say I put drummers out of work. I didn't mean to ever do that. I was just trying to survive.
They figured it out. They added another string, when you started seeing like Gene Page arrangements that, that were going for those lower strings. They had to come up with the 5-string bass and,
It's just ways to be competitive.
Yeah.
You have to make top 10 records. Yeah. As a producer, which I am.
And you were definitely part of that movement that was putting the synthesizer and drum machines front and center, and that kind of became a trend that a lot of other producers followed.
Well, look at that lady there. That's Aretha Franklin.
Yeah.
I'm so happy. The first song I ever did with her, Prince inspired the sound. His movie called Purple Rain has a song in there called The Beautiful Ones.
Yeah, sure.
Where they kind of recorded it a little fast and slowed it down so it feels kind of heavy like that. Mm-hmm. And I took that same philosophy and tracked something for Aretha with machinery that would never have happened before, wasn't there before, and put it up under her. So to hear all that with her pure soul voice, the combination is like stunning. Mm-hmm. So it's all those worlds we kind of got into. Mm. Yeah.
Do you feel like your background as a drummer helped you sort of figure out how to manipulate like a Lindrum? Because if you're just somebody who's just a programmer, it's different than having a time feel of a drummer.
You have to be a musician to make the machine sound like this. Mm-hmm. You got to be a musician to know how to make it feel like that. Mm-hmm. So it doesn't sound quirky or weird or just wrong. Mm-hmm. You got to be able to pimp that thing, beat that thing. Mm-hmm. Like, that's how you have to be.
Can I ask you a question about George Marilyn and Shannon Rubin? So,
anything you want.
Yeah, so they've obviously, two of the Whitney's biggest hits, they were responsible for writing.
Yes, they are.
I'm sure you've heard the story about the song that they shopped around waiting for a star to fall that they ended up recording as their own band.
I love that song.
Did they ever pitch that to you or for Whitney?
No.
I wonder, what do you think it was that like a song like that ended up being huge for them? They couldn't get anybody to take it. Seemed like they had a great...
I don't know anything about that. All I know is that was their hit.
Yeah. Apparently they had shopped that to a bunch of people and nobody would take it.
I never knew that.
Yeah. I think even they shopped some
Had they given it to me? Had they given me that song? I would have whooped it.
Yeah.
I would have whooped it. It would have been a hit for anybody we wanted to put it on.
Yeah.
It's a great song.
Yeah.
And that Shannon girl.
Yeah.
She's magic.
Yeah.
I asked her, I said, how did you think about I want someone who loves me? She said, I was just thinking, I want someone to love me as they dance with me.
Yeah.
I said, okay. She just got magic about her.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, they had certainly some great songs and
George is so sincere and on it. Always on it. Always open-hearted. Whenever I see him, I feel a lot of love from him. Or if he's flying to the UK, he'll call me. I'm going to London now. I'll say, okay, have a good time over there, It's just good people.
Are they from like Seattle or like the Northwest somewhere or something like that?
I can't answer that.
Yeah. Do you know where they are? Are they in LA?
I thought they were in LA when I first knew about them. Yeah.
Okay.
And then they moved up here for a while.
Okay.
George lived right up in Petaluma.
Okay.
Sure.
Wow.
He still does, as far as I know.
All right.
See what I mean?
All right. Well, we talked about Jennifer Hall. She lives up there too, and she was the background vocalist on a bunch of these. And she was my vocal coach when I was in high school.
Lucky you.
Yeah, she was amazing.
She's gorgeous.
Yeah,
she's gorgeous, and she's a rare talent. She is so good. I built an entire band around here and spent all the money to build a band called Girlfriend.
Yeah. With
all these talented women around her.
Yeah.
That's how good she is. Mary Hazel on guitar. And I don't know. I love her.
I think she gave me like some copies of some of those that were like burned to a CD or something like that to listen to. And I remember them being like really great. Yeah. Wow. Well, I want to talk about your work with Aretha Franklin. I think a lot of people don't realize that Aretha had this renaissance in the 80s. She
won't do that. See, now you're saying that. Now I've heard you say that. If she was sitting here,
she'd be mad, huh?
Yeah. So she'd be like, what are you talking about? I didn't go anywhere.
Okay, well, let me rephrase it. And then you tell me if this would fit with the Queen of Soul. I think that she was brought to a new generation of fans. And because there are a lot of people in the 80s that were fans of Freeway of Love and I Knew You Were Waiting for Me that hadn't heard a lot of her kind of classic catalog or what became part of the legacy of Aretha Franklin. And so they got introduced to her through your productions and then could go backwards and learn, whereas other people who maybe lived in parallel with all these great songs knew all of these great songs that she did, like You Make Me Feel Like a Natural Woman and things like that. So what was your approach? I mean, in the production game, you were mentored by Quincy Jones, you've said many times. Was this kind of the really big first artist that you worked with? Or like, what was the big artist that sort of got you to the point where you were working with the Queen of Soul, like Aretha Franklin?
Well, I have to start at the very beginning as far as my pop productions.
Okay.
With a young girl named Stacey Lattisaw.
Sure.
She was 11 years old, and we had hits with her called Let Me Be Your Angel, Dynamite, Jump to the Beat, Love on a Two-Way Street, and Attack of the Name Game. And so these songs started percolating in the charts where I was getting phone calls.
She was 11 years old?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Henry Allen signed her at Cotillion Records, and I knew he wanted some hits for her. So we cut those. T.M. Stevens, Corrado again, Frank Martin at the record plant. And Mike Gibbs doing string arranging. I went to New York to put her vocals on. We mixed them. And she had success. So because of the success, my phone started ringing. Be it Clive Davis. How'd you learn how to make those kind of records? Hey man, I'm from Michigan. In Michigan, we all have that kind of passion.
Right.
We know how to mix all the different qualities of music together because Motown, Curtis Mayfield, Chicago, it's all right there. Even country, everything's there.
Yeah.
So he said, well, if you can do that, why don't you produce like Angela Bofill or something like that? When some of my artists, I started producing stuff for Clive Davis. That door opened. Then Henry said, well, why don't you produce Sister Sledge? They came over. A lot of things started percolating. That kind of built me for Clive to say, what about producing Aretha? Or Dionne Warwick. Mm-hmm. So that's how it kind of came down the pike. Wow. When Clive said, call Aretha, give her a call. I did. And on that first phone call, she's so lofty in her thinking. When she talks to you, is how I got the idea for the Who's Zooming Who. Because she would say, I would say to her, well, what do you do for fun at night? Well, maybe I go out to a nightclub. I see a guy in the corner. He looks at me. I look at him. It's like, who's zooming who? He thinks he got me, but then the fish jumps off the hook. The fish jumped off the hook. Like that, I see she talks. So when I got off the phone, I told Preston Glass, my partner, I said, this is how she talks. Let's see how we can write a song about this. And that's how it became.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And also, Quincy Jones told me, I said, what would you do with for Aretha? He said, well, I wouldn't sleep on what Tina Turner's doing. So I kind of studied what Tina Turner was doing. Mm-hmm. Coming out of the UK with Terry Britton.
So like the private dancer.
Yeah. All that world. Mm-hmm. There again, the UK was strong. So I also kind of put that mindset on Aretha. Then what's hot in America? Well, Prince was ripping up with that Purple Rain stuff. Mm-hmm. Put that stuff in, sonically speaking. So I'm just always trying to gumble things to make sure I'm current with the right sound. Mm-hmm. Good song, current production. Yeah.
Wow. Who wrote Freeway of Love?
I did, with Jeffrey Cohen on my piano, banging it out. And I had like a year earlier or whatever it was. And Preston Glass, when we were cutting Aretha, said, why don't you give that song to Aretha Franklin? And I would never thought of that. That was completely Preston Glass. Because they have a lot of songs. So he told me about that. I said, damn, Preston. What a great idea. I would never thought that. So then we had to get Jeffrey Cohen to rewrite the lyric for Aretha. Knew you'd be a vision in white. How'd you get your pants so tight? Don't know how you're living, but you must be living right. Oh, we got some places to see. I got all my maps with me. So jump in, ain't no sin. Take a ride in my machine. City traffic moving way too slow. Hit the pedal and go. Yeah. Go. Going riding on the freeway of love in my pink Cadillac. Going riding on the freeway of love. And this line I couldn't find to ride my pink Cadillac. I said, Jeffrey, what ride the pink Cadillac? Goes, winds against my back. Oh. Right. Going riding on the freeway, love. When's it getting my back? Going riding on the freeway, love, in my pink Cadillac.
Yeah.
That's how we did it.
Now, when she would do like vocal inflections on that, was that all her? Like,
Yes.
did she just?
I mean, we do our demo. Everything I do, like Steven Spielberg, I make a blueprint. I cut the track. I get my Kitty Beethoven or whoever we're going to have sing it so that person can hear it and learn it. And then they can bring to it what they want to bring to it. At least I know what works.
Mm-hmm.
And when we got to Detroit on the second go around, because the first go around with Aretha was Who's Zooming Who and Until You Say You Love Me. Those two. And don't forget her father just died out of a coma. So for 2 years, she didn't really sing that much. Just kind of laying low for the father. Once he died, then she could really come back again strong in the sense of like in the studios, kicking it out, working. So when I came back the second time to Detroit with Freeway, that's when it hit me how professional she was, because I went out to music stand and there was no lyric on the stand. It was all memorized. Everything she was saying, take a left down better than Ever Street, and all these little things she was adding to it. That was no lyric on the stand. It was just memorized that she wanted to add in there. So I realized her level of professionalism is so high. But then again, I was there in the snow. So for example, in the hotel, the phone would ring. She would say, you see all that snow coming out the window? I said, yeah. She said, I don't drive in that snow. Day one. Day two, you see that snow coming out? I see it coming down hard. I don't drive in that snow. There could be 3 or 4 days in the hotel waiting for her.
Where was this out of Michigan, or was this in?
I'd be in Michigan, Detroit, Michigan. They had just built this tall hotel, the Renaissance Center, Ren Center, whatever it was called, with a bunch of shops down below. So I could walk down the stairs and kind of shop around. There was a burning time for like 4 days.
Wow. Did she live there? Or she just went there for?
No, she lived in the outskirts of town.
Wow.
Oh yeah, that's her place, Detroit.
Wow. So she still call it home.
Oh yes, and that was also part of my thinking that song would be good for her because of all the Detroit cars.
Sure. Cadillacs and
Chevrolets and Ford and all that.
Sure. Wow.
Yeah.
And was this sort of a similar thing where you recorded all the rhythm section and then brought it out there and then she would sing it as an overdub?
Yes, with tape. I was always limited with the amount of tracks I could use.
Sure.
And
a lot of the overdub was a consequence of just limited time. And the artist, like with Whitney, she was pretty well scheduled. And so was that part
sessions.
of it? Yeah.
3-hour sessions. That'd be good enough with any of my soul singers. 3-hour sessions. And what I learned was a technique of recording backwards, of doing the ending first. Let them sing through it. And in Aretha's case, she would sing down the octave 4 or 5 times, down the octave, getting warmed up. And then when she said, okay, now I'm ready to record, then she would sing the whole song. It would sound like a record. A couple more times, just sing, and that. Then before I get too meticulous on a first verse, do 1 or 2 more endings. Just blow on the ending hard, like a horse has to run, because they have all that soul in them. Let them get all the ending first. Get all that in the bag. Then go to the first verse and settle down and say, we need this to be like a certain kind of way to get white listeners, black listeners, all listeners involved, as opposed to if it's too much going on in the first verse, too much flippancy in the melody, we turn people off. I want all people. So she was nice to me because she might do 3 or 4 takes and then I might want 1 more, it's simpler. And she said, I'll be nice to you and I'll give you what's called a straight reading. I'll go back and sing it 1 more time and a little bit closer to the melody. And she would. But inevitably, when I come back to my studio here to comp it together, I would end up using what she might do, all that fancy stuff, because it would be so incredible.
Yeah. How old were you when you were doing this with Aretha? You must have been in your 20s, your late 20s, early 30s?
Early 30s.
Yeah.
Okay, I was born in 1952, and this would be 85, 84 coming out, 85, 84. So that's the math.
Yeah. So how did you get, was there a sort of an arc or a learning curve of getting her to trust you, like as a young producer?
Yes. From the very, very beginning meeting her.
Did you have any tests for
when
it?
I first met her, when she walked in, it was called United Sound Studios. It's a sliding glass door. She would slide the door wearing her fur coat. At this time, she was still smoking a cigarette. Cools. And I walk up from the console to the sliding glass door to go meet her for the first time. And right then and there, it happened. In looking in her eyes, you see it's the Queen of Soul. And the fire is on. And you see the genius that can do everything. play the piano, sing, hear everything, knows everything. Help Martin Luther King. Help the people. She's the people's champion. You see all that. So you, spiritually speaking, you genuflect. You show great respect. And you let her know, spiritually speaking, you're there to make hit records and have fun and honor her. You're not there to fight with her. In that first seconds, all that happens like that. And then when the sound comes on, she hears the track beating. Now it's on. Now she's excited because what happens is you and her and you are now serving that, like what that looks like, that big light. That's the music. We're both going to be on the same team to serve that. And then it's like, what you want to eat? You want a hamburger? You want a cheeseburger? You want French fries? What you want? Norm do going down there gets fried chicken. What you want? Nada. You want a cheeseburger? Get a cheeseburger. Now we're going to just jump up that and serve that and get the best of that on the tape. And that's what it is. And she'll undo her pants. So, and I still have the microphone she sang on.
What does she use?
Fried chicken or cheeseburger.
Yeah.
Yep. And it helped her have more strength.
Yeah.
I can see why she wanted it. Because she'd be so strong.
And what was the mic you put her on?
A cheap SM7.
Really?
That came to our door of knowledge because of Bruce Sweeting with Michael Jackson.
Sure, yeah, that's with all the Thriller stuff. And
he would say, this little cheap microphone does not distort.
Yeah.
Because mine can be soft and get loud.
Yeah.
And because of that, that became our mic of choice.
Takes a lot of SPL for sure, yeah.
That's what it is.
Did you keep on the
I mean, we might have also used, a U87 too.
Yeah.
Depending upon the song. But primarily, that was the mic of choice. Because
she's got a lot of power.
It sounded so beautiful on her. It wasn't like, it'd be like, wow.
Would you run through compression and stuff like that with her as well?
Yes.
It's LA2A or 1176?
Not too much. Because you don't want to like take the life out of her. You want to just get as much of the natural voice. You got to imagine what it sounds like to hear these great voices coming through speakers. I mean, it's just daunting. It's daunting to hear some Aretha's voice coming through speaker, or Whitney, or Barbra Streisand, or any of these great ones. So you don't want to kill that. You want to let it breathe. Let it breathe.
Yeah. When you get it back here, would you have the background vocalist also sing on SM50? Or
that might be done beforehand.
Okay.
It's all done beforehand, so that she can react off that background. See what I mean? I go there with all that. I go loaded for bear. That's how I know I can make a hit. If I having a lead vocal I liked, background, everything sounding good, that she can bring to what she wants, fine. I also have her cover what I might need, but she can bring what she wants, and then that's people don't talk about. It's called the comping stage. Yeah, where the person's gone away. I step all night if I have to. Just go through each line to find what actually works for the long term. For 100+ years, it'll sound good.
Yeah. How long would you spend on the comping side when you're like assembling the puzzle of the song? How long would you spend on something like Freeway of Love? Would that be weeks?
No. I take a night to throw it together, then pitch it up. Next morning, still keep pitching it. Listen to it. And a little more pitching I might done, or whatever I might need done. That'd be it. I learned that choosing is confusing. If you take too much time dicking around, you can blow it. Yeah. No. Hit records, the way I make them, are speed. They're speed records. Why? The spirit's fast. The spirit does not fool around. When you watch Hendrix live, he's doing it. He ain't thinking about it. He's doing it. That's what hit records are. Doing it. You think too much, you blow it. It's like a boxing ring. You think, you get hit. Right. You got to just be intuitive. It's all intuition. So your intuition is fast. Writing a song, producing a song, comping a song, it's fast. It'll tell you right away. So you got to go with it. Am I doing it right? Is that it? Is that it? Like that. It's like, is that it? That's it. Okay, fine. What's next? It's like the spirit's trying to talk to you. Is that it? Is that it? Is that it? Okay. Well, I can tune this a little better. I can tune it a little better. But that's basically it. It's fast. If you fool around too much. And also I learned with Whitney. Cut a song. She leaves. Put it together. All night long. Whatever you got to do. Next morning, keep tuning. Get it, make it. So she gets up 3 o'clock. Sit down, Whitney. Bam. Whoa, it's a hit record. Yes. That was painless. No one beat me. I wasn't in there for 4 or 5 days on the same song. That was 3 hours of work. It's a hit. All I got to do is a little thing there and that. I'm done. Right. That was the success mechanism for these great singers to be inspired in making their records. So they're not going to get beat up. Quite as it's true, Jesus, Buddha, Krishna, all the great spirits of God will help you if you go quick. If you dilly-dally around, they can't hang out. They'll come through like this. And I learned that from Quincy Jones too. He said, we want to be able to get God as he walks through the room. Exactly. When God walks through, grab it. That's it, man. If you didn't take advantage of that, was your fault.
Wow.
I'm really trying to tell you the truth.
I hear it.
Every one of those songs was a 3-hour session. Every one of them. Or less.
Even a duet like she did with George Michael. I Knew You Were Waiting for Me.
Okay, that's different because why? Her session's 3 hours. His session's 3 hours.
But not together.
No.
Separate.
No, I have to because I want to honor both. Get all her parts. Get him in the next day. He's so nervous. George, bless his heart. George, so nervous, of course, to sing with the Queen of Soul. So we get his parts. And I have 10 tracks for both of them. He's got 10 tracks, no more than that. And he's singing all his parts, and we're going, and we're going, and we're going, and we're going, and we're going. And he wants to continue doing more takes, but I know out of the 10 takes I've got, 10 tracks I've got, those first 3 and 4 are strong records. That his 5th and 6th and 7th and 8th are diminishing. And he says to me, go back over those first tracks. I want to keep singing. And that's when a producer has to come in and say, no, those first tracks are my record, are the record. You don't know that because you're just singing. But if I go over that, I'm going to ruin it. And he looked at me like, who the hell you think you are? I'm George Michael, okay? If I want to keep singing, you let me keep singing. But I let him know, George, can't. These first 4 tracks are the record. Go home. Go back to the hotel. I'll stay up tonight and comp it together. And tomorrow when you come in, I'll play you the best. If you're not happy with a line or two, pop it in. He said, okay. And he surrendered. He always gave me one compliment. He said, I always notice your records are in tune. I said, well, thank you. So I sent him home.
And there was no auto-tune back then.
But honestly, we'd use what's called AMS.
I used to got one right here.
That's right.
Yeah.
If we needed to pitch it, AMS. So the thing is this, the next day, the third day, George comes back with Aretha live together. And this is now for the firework ending. Because I've already done all the verse stuff. So with the firework ending, 2 mics out there, it's beautiful. And so loving because Aretha is really happy to be working with George.
SM7?
Yes.
All right.
George is a big star. And he really wanted to work with the Queen. So there's a lot of love in the room. And I have enough for, let's say, 4 go-rounds of outro. Of them going back and forth 4 times. And I'd say the first couple of times, Aretha was going very easy on him. You know, he'd be singing and she'd go, you know, nice. But then as she got really warmed up, like the 3rd or 4th take, then you'll see on the record, I can show it to you, where she rears back and just complete strength. You know, and wowed him and stopped him actually, because he was like stunned. But it's so beautiful I had to use it on the record. You know, the knockout blow.
Wow.
Yeah. You know.
And did you know right away this was going to be, because this was a Grammy winner, right? Because I think it was best R&B.
Aretha's first
duo vocal.
Real pop record, number one pop record, which I never really knew. All R&B stuff, but the first pop number 1, which I never really knew. All I know is I just do my very best to put it together where it sounds great. Yeah. And hope people love it, you know. But I put everything there to make it so you can love it. Yeah. You know, from the bells of corrado guitar in the very intro to the cool drums, the cool boom ga boom 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 ga dum 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 boom ga dum dum. I bring Motown, James Jamerson, little nuances to the bass parts, to the guitar parts. Right. That's what I think makes things live beyond just the initial hearing of something. When you start hearing it 10, 20, 30 times, you know, The nuances in there are what catch you.
Oh, I think it's great. I think with the guitar too, with Corrado, like I think you have him sort of doubling the bass with like a distorted guitar sound, and like again, he's so versatile. Like I think when I first heard, I was like, oh, it's probably Steve Lukather or something like that. Like, but it was kind of the perfect contemporary guitar part, and then yeah, it's a beautiful song.
Thank you.
It's a beautiful song.
Thank you. I'm very proud of Aretha. I'm very proud of George.
Yeah.
Really proud of both of them because I saw George go through all the insecurity of singing with her and then just kind of conquer that.
Because he was only like a year or two out of Wham from that point, right? It was kind of early.
But he's a big star.
Yeah.
He already had some of all his hits and stuff,
Sure.
You got to have faith in those records. He already was a big star.
Yeah.
So it was wonderful to see them come together with so much love.
Yeah.
Yeah. For me, it's a great, great high. A great, great high.
What about your work with Mariah Carey? You have kind of this knack as a producer to work with these just virtuosic female vocalists that are kind of defining of certain generations of music. Certainly Whitney was 80s and 90s, and Mariah kind of came in that early 90s. How did you get connected with her?
Tom Mottola was a big president of Sony and found Mariah and called me and said, I found a great young singer. I'll send you a little cassette at that time. You could hear her, and a picture. And what came was a little cassette, which is not very even a whole song, it's part of a song, and a little tiny snapshot, or what we call a slide, like a little Kodak slide picture of her. And I said, well, Tommy, yeah, you didn't send me very much, but it sounds nice. What you want me to do? He said, come to New York and meet her. And don't Mac my babe. I said, okay. So I go to New York and I meet her. And Mariah's 19, like Whitney, same age. And she would look at you through her hair. Her hair would be very beautiful and curly, like looking like a Latin girl. And really beautiful and soulful and quiet. Like so quiet. I would say, well, what do you like musically? I like George Michael. Great, I just worked with him. So that was like our in, I have it right now with George Michael. So I felt like, we weren't talking too much. So I said, let's go to the studio where I can get to a keyboard and hear you sing and see what we can do. And that's when it exploded. We went over to a Sony studio, got a Rhodes, maybe a little drum machine type thing, a mic for her and a mic for me. And in that room, in the studio, we wrote 4 songs. And that's when I started realizing what was about to happen again. That she was a great one.
So was that Vision of Love that you guys knocked out?
No, none of that. What came then was, first of all, she could sing like Michael Jackson. Exactly. Tone, everything. Riffs, notes, everything. Like, that's hard to do. But she could do that. So I had immediate new respect. And my mind went to this. 2 things. Early in my childhood would be Nina Simone live at Town Hall. The drama of her. Also, my mind flashed to, I told her, I said, you need a song that's complete drama, like what I saw at the Regal Theater in Chicago when I saw Stevie Wonder with Fingertips. Before Stevie came out was a gentleman called Walter Jackson. It was a song called It's an Uphill Climb to the Bottom. And what this man did, they wheeled him out in a wheelchair. He's got a great voice. And when he starts singing this uphill climb from the bottom and the song starts modulating, he falls out of the chair on the floor and the women screech because they're scared for him. They may have hurt himself. They're not thinking maybe it's theatric. They think maybe he's hurting himself, whatever it is. But they're like, it's like that kind of feeling. As he's singing from the floor, it's an uphill climb to the bottom. And the band is playing. And it's like, whoa, it's like traumatic for me to see this. So, and meeting her and hearing that she could sing all that Michael Jackson stuff, that she was a real deal, it came to me, the melody of I Don't Want to Cry. And then she started singing it. I was like, God. And then that became one of the things that she would take away and write the lyric to. Out of 4. We did 4 things that day. So that was the impetus of just my childhood injecting into her because she had the gift where she could do it. Not everyone could do that, but she's that good. And I didn't really know at that time she had the 5th octave range like she does. That came later.
Mm.
When we started recording over here, I Don't Want to Cry, and she could do all that eyes, dog ears stuff with perfection. Then I realized what a perfectionist she is, like George Michael, that, you know, she wanted to do takes and takes and takes and takes because nothing sounded good to her. Unlike Whitney was like, oh, that was great. Mariah was almost rancid at that time. I was like, no, Mariah, this is great. Oh, it was rancid. So I had to convince her voice and everything was good. That was a big to do. She's such a great, great artist, and I love her so much. And then later in my life, as I would see her again, one time in particular, I was out with Stevie Wonder in LA, and Stevie and I took Mariah to like this hotel outdoors where we sat around with some comedians and entertainment people, and Stevie plays a game where he wants you to sing a little bit of a song, like a contest, and it goes around and around. Who can keep the contest going? And that girl, Mariah, she knows music, like all kind of songs. Like she can almost battle Stevie Wonder for how long she can keep that contest going. You see what I'm saying to you? She's not just anybody. She's damn genius. I have to give it to her. And when Whitney and her got together, that was beautiful. Because Whitney, you know, Mariah looked up to Whitney, admired her. Of course, we all did. So when Whitney finally met Mariah, felt Mariah's love for her, then there was no more competition, which is love, which I really liked.
Yeah, because they did didn't they do like a duet for it was a Disney movie or something in the mid-90s? Were you involved with that?
No,
or was that Babyface?
That was
okay, that was Walter. Okay,
my protege.
Yeah. I think it was for the Prince of Egypt. The movie. Yeah, that was a beautiful song. What about like on that song? Since we're on it, it has kind of this Spanish guitar intro.
Yes.
And a lot of people credit you with kind of being one of the pioneers that started to use nylon string guitar in like pop music intro, because you definitely saw a couple years after that, Babyface was doing it with Tony Braxton. David Foster was doing it quite a bit, but there really wasn't a lot of examples of people doing these intro. Richard Marx would do this.
I have to thank Walter and Chris Camozzi. Walter had the idea with his friend Chris Camozzi, who plays beautiful acoustic guitar, to try that kind of intro. And it sounded so beautiful. It's perfect. So I have to really thank Walter, Chris Camozzi for that vibration. Because that's at that time we were always searching what would be a new thing to do, or something kind of fresh or tender, soulful. There it is. Boom. Yeah. So you have to give those cats so much credit for working it out with me, you know?
Wow.
Yeah.
So that was Walter.
Yeah, Walt, Chris Camozzi.
Wow.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, he became kind of a pretty instrumental part of her trajectory.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
What about Vision of Love? Like, that you said it wasn't one of the songs you guys first knocked out.
After Sony, Tom Mottola, Donnie Ienner heard what we were doing with the productions of I Don't Want to Cry in that period. There was a couple more songs we were cutting. They asked us to see what we could do with the Vision of Love and make it sound sonically like what we were doing. So that's what we did. We just took Vision of Love and just kind of upgraded the sound of it. Her vocal, everything is great. We just make the sound of it really like what it needed to be. Of course, Mariah, her genius. And what's the young gentleman's name who cut it and wrote it with her? Ben Margulies.
Oh, okay.
Greatness. So, we were just able to jump on what they already built and just make it, stronger, but they've done the work. It
didn't seem like on those productions with Mariah, the personnel wasn't as deep as it was like in Whitney Houston stuff. The credits are like super long for every single thing. It seemed like a lot of the production was consolidated. Was that like a conscious choice, or was that just kind of what the music called for in terms of having, separate guitar players, bass players, keyboardists, like all that stuff? It seemed like it was a tighter knit group on a lot of those Mariah productions on that first record.
I mean, I could think maybe that's more programmed work At that time, we were going more into the orchestra and the band being more programmed. I mean, you could overdub drums, you could overdub guitar, Chris Camozzi, or his good sax, whatever. But the majority of keyboard bass type work could be programmed for a consolidated type of sound. So that might be what you're hitting on.
Yeah.
It wasn't be like everybody up in the studio just jamming away so much.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be on a certain song.
Yeah.
But the ones you're mentioning, that'd be more programmed.
Yeah.
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 Because that became, again, another competitive punch. Another way to have an edge in the sound. The sound would be like, whoa.
How would you compare sort of the influence or the vibe of Tommy Mottola versus Clive? Because they kind of were serving similar roles in their respective companies, right? In terms of like how they were kind of acting in some sort of AR capacity and sort of bringing artists to producers and stuff like that.
No, they weren't just A&R capacity. They were the president of the label.
Sure, but they were also acting like as an interface between producers and stuff like that. Not all of the record executives were having the same hands-on approach as those guys
But
were.
they wanted to. Everyone I know at record companies, they all want to have input. But mentioning Clive is very instrumental in what he wants. In the songs that he would choose, he would often tell me, I like credit for me picking these songs. He liked that. Tommy wasn't trying to pick the songs as much with me, as much just loving the process, making sure he was getting what he needed.
Would he come to those sessions?
Yeah, he came to a couple sessions.
Would Clive come to sessions?
No. Clive was better giving him the tape in his office. We could hear cassette, and compare that with his demo to make sure what I was doing had enough of the demo, what he loved about the demo, but taking it up further.
Were those guys musicians or were they just fans? Or
Clive wasn't a musician like that. No, he couldn't play like that. He just had the ear for knowing what could do well with the people and on the radio and a hit. If it had what it needed, that he could put the time, energy, promotion behind it to get the results. So he had a very good ear for knowing what music of a hit, of a hook would have enough legs, strength to do well. If he had me produce it or Foster, whoever, come in on that basic idea. But then he could also get demoitis, where he loved that demo so much. So he had to be really conscious to capture the demo, but then take it even further. Yeah.
And then how would Mottola have been different than that?
Tommy was actually a player.
Okay.
Tommy play guitar.
Yeah.
So I asked him, "You want to play a little guitar?" He said, "No." But I would kind of flatter and say, play guitar. So he's a little different in that regard. And I didn't work with Tommy as much as I worked with Clive. Just two things. The Mariah thing, and I was starting to do some Hall & Oates for him, which we have in our waltz now. I went and met with Daryl and wrote a couple ideas. And then for some reason, it didn't jump off. I don't really ever compare Tommy with Clive. They have different capacities, different ways of looking at things. The only similarity is they both worked with one guy who's really a giant. This is Donnie Ienner. Donnie Ienner helped make Whitney's success with the 7 number ones in a row of Where the Broken Hearts Go. He was one that called me and said, "We've done it." I said, "Done what?" We beat the Beatles record. We have now 7 number ones in a row on Whitney Houston. When Ienner called and told me that, I knew it was a big deal. And then Clive and I spoke. Because that song in particular was one that Whitney never wanted to even cut. I had to convince her to cut it. And lower the lights and put a candle on in the studio. And she had imagined what it'd be like to have a broken heart, which she hadn't had yet. So that was a real test as me as a producer. So when that went 7 number ones, that was incredible. So that's Donnie Ienner calling me. Then Donnie went to work with Tom Mottola. So now I'm working for Mariah, and there's Donnie again. So that is the similarity in that guy who's a champion of getting stuff on radio and knowing the height of success. Yeah. So a lot of love to Donnie, Tommy, and Clive, all the people who have had relationships with of that kind of rare earth, rare quality, rare air. It's just so, we had never seen those kind of heights before. Yeah. I mean, you think about Michael Jackson, Madonna, of course, Prince came, but it wasn't that many people who were that huge of stars around the world, where the demand around the world would be like, we want them now. And it killed some of our stars, trying to keep up with that kind of pace. The songs are hard to sing nightly. It's hard to travel like that. It's hard to be on for everybody.
What about Shanice?
Greatness. Another great one. Yeah. There are 3 great singers who can sing the high octave. Of course, Mariah. Yeah. Shanice Wilson has mastered the 5th octave range. And Lisa Fischer. Those three can
all of
kill
them you've worked
the
with.
fifth octave range. Shanice is a beast, and she's even gotten better. I went and saw her and played with her recently, about 7 months ago in Oakland, and she killed. Powerful. In fact, I'm honoring her at our Christmas show this year at the Throckmorton Theater in Mill Valley. She's coming, and Tevin Campbell's coming.
Wow.
Yeah.
So how did you get connected with Shanice in specifically I Love Your Smile? Like,
okay. At that time, Clarence Avant, with my brother Kevin, who was my manager at the time, made us realize the importance of writing more of our own songs. Not just taking Clive's picks, but in fact, writing our own songs more and building our own publishing catalogs. So we tried to take artists that needed material where I could write for them and bring them up. And that's what we did. Shanice was one of them, Tevin Campbell, Lisa Fischer. There are a host of people at that time we could write more for. And Shanice came, and she was so beautiful when she was 16 years old. She sat right out there. I said, get a pencil and paper and write down 7 song titles. And she did. And we took all 7 of those song titles and wrote songs right there. Just, the idea came. She gave me the title. I hear the music. She gave me a title. I hear the music. She said, I Love Your Smile. I heard it. I Love Your Smile. Boom.
Like she was 16 years old.
Yeah.
Wow.
I just heard it. Boom. She sang it. We identified the ideas, and she went away. And then we got my crew to blow them all out.
So she just come over here? She's from Pittsburgh, I think.
Well, she lived in L.A. She's from Pittsburgh, you're right, but lived in L.A. at the time.
Okay.
With her mother, Crystal, and Penny, her auntie, who are also great musicians and singers.
Wow. So
she comes from a real singing family. And her dad, I think, played guitar, too. So she got just music all over her.
And production-wise, even though that was right around the time that first Mariah Carey record came out, this had like a much more modern sound that kind of, you started to see a lot more replication of people kind of copying that sort of production as it moved into the mid 90s. Cause like it was pretty unusual that you would see a female vocalist, like virtuosic vocalist, that would be doing like a rap. Like she has like a rap that has like in the middle of the song, like whose idea was that she would kind of do this?
Shanice loves that. Her favorite rapper, it'll come to me in a minute, at that time, that she loved so much, who was really a great rapper. Anyway, Shanice liked the idea of doing all that. That's really her. Yeah. Shanice loves R&B and soul and rap and hip hop and all that world. So, and she was a kid, so that was her music.
Yeah.
So great, we're gonna do it.
Yeah.
But my whole thing was how to do it so clever that we could have major hits.
Yeah.
So yeah.
What about the whistling in the intro? Was that something you were like, you're gonna double it with whistling? Was that your decision, her decision?
Just I got Brad from Marcellus to play sax. We had Shanice whistle. We had all those people sing it. All the different sounds to make that thing just a hook.
Who played the piano on that?
I did, and Louis Bianconello.
Wow.
Louis Bianconello ripped a hole in the production of knowing how to put those great sounds together. He was really our right-hand man at that time, and he did a wonderful job.
It's a pretty far departure, though, like in the best possible way. Like Mariah's stuff didn't have that same sort of feel. Like you were able to capture sort of the spirit of like the youthfulness of Shanice, and that also became like part of the sound, because there's also people that were trying to transition out of New Jack Swing at the same time, and they wanted stuff that kind of felt a little bit like in terms of like the upbeat kind of aspect of it, but it didn't. They needed to find a new home, and I feel like this was a great transition song that really, like, I think cemented early 90s R&B sound. It was a really seminal record, I think, for a lot.
Teddy Riley had a great sound coming out of New York, the New Jack Swing.
Yeah.
I love what he did.
Yeah.
He does.
What about Lisa Fischer?
She's genius. All my great singers have that quality, but Lisa comes in with the understanding of Luther Vandross and his perfectionism. Lisa comes in having worked with Mick Jagger, having worked with Tina Turner.
It was a session singer before she did that, right? And doing background.
But she's got all the nuances of the genius, all the artistic quality, and can sing anything and make everything sound good. So I'm a major fan of Lisa Fischer. I'm writing for her right now.
All right. What do you think is the reason that she didn't like continue on that trajectory? Like, it seems like she took a step back after like releasing that album. She won a Grammy, or tied with Patti LaBelle for a Grammy.
Right. She did good. She did. She decided she didn't want to do it anymore. There's so much heavy pressure.
Sure.
On being a lead singer out front, carrying the weight of the whole thing. It wasn't for her at that time. So she decided she didn't want that. Be better to back up Mick Jagger, back up somebody.
Yeah.
So she just took time out from being on that pressure stage.
Well, Narada, I want to talk about you for a little bit before we wrap up today. Okay. And I think a lot of us, the first time I saw you, or was aware of you, is my dad had Wired on vinyl.
You didn't play guitar?
No, he didn't. He was just a real enthusiast. We had a really great record collection that I grew up on. My parents.
How old are you?
I'm 40 years old.
Got it. Great, man.
And my parents grew up.
How old would you be during Wired? Just to know.
Wired, I wouldn't have been alive.
Oh, okay, fine. Exactly.
Yeah, I wouldn't have been alive.
So, but you had to hear the record after you came on.
Yeah, I heard the record when I was probably, 6 or 7, something like that. Okay. When I started to get in. Okay. And then I think the first time I saw you, I think it probably would have been one of those televised like Crossroads shows or something like that with Jeff. Yeah. And I've got something to play for you that I want to get your reaction to a little bit later. But you grew up in Kalamazoo, Michigan. I'm curious, like that's about 2 hours away from Detroit, right? If I'm not mistaken, or so.
Detroit,
because you're west.
2 hours to Kalamazoo. Another hour and a half, 2 hours to Chicago.
Right.
We're right in the middle.
So did you feel like, did Motown still feel like it was like the hometown heroes as far as being in Michigan, or was it more eclectic in terms of like the vibe of what you were getting musically in Kalamazoo at the time that you were sort of growing up in
Motown? Motown came out in 1959 with Shop Around and Smokey Robinson. Mm. So I'd still be kind of young, about 8 or 9 years old. Mm. Whatever it was, 152, about that. So Shop Around was a big old hit for Smokey Robinson, and we liked that, and we kind of just watched their evolution. Mm. And we heard everything came out of Motown first. Mm-hmm. Like, Baby I Need Your Love and Four Tops. We're the first to hear it. Wow! So everything came out. We're the first to hear it.
So it was close enough.
Even Stevie Wonder's early records that didn't hit, we got those too. Wow! I'm searching, to find the right hit. One to Fingertips hit, they was exploded. Wow. Yeah.
So it was still close enough where you were still getting the same.
Yes.
Okay.
But not only in Detroit, Chicago. Right. It was coming out of Chicago with Curtis Mayfield. Yeah. And like the Five Stair Steps, all their music. Yeah. So we were really blessed to be around so much great music. Mm. Yeah.
And were you going and seeing music in Chicago and seeing stuff out in Detroit?
Chicago, I did at the Regal Theater. I went and saw Stevie Wonder. I told you about the story about Walter Jackson. Sure. But I saw Stevie live, and it just killed me. Mm. It killed me so bad that I thought, I'll make myself blind. I'll stare at the sun at the eclipse and make myself blind. Because my first hero was Ray Charles, the live album he had made. And then, of course, there's George Shearing with Peggy Lee. He's blind. Then there's Stevie Wonder. He's blind. There's something about these blind guys that got this extra sense of ability. Yeah. I stared at the sun, but it didn't take my sight, but I was trying to take my sight. Wow. I know, it's crazy. That's how deep it goes.
Were you a multi-instrumentalist then, or were you pretty much just focused on drums?
I'm a drummer.
Okay.
But I could go to the piano and play my chords and write my little songs. And then I had a keyboard player named Joel Brooks, who was a great organ player. He was 10 when I was 11. We had a band called Ambassadors, and he could walk the bass and play all kind of Jimmy Smith stuff as a 10-year-old. Mm. And we played in his uncle's nightclub called the Ambassador Lounge together. Wow. So that was great. And he would teach me stuff, how to walk the bass, how to play the different chords. So that was a great education for me. Mm. It opened up all kind of worlds for me.
Do you remember the first real kit you had?
Yeah, my grandfather for the $100 bought me the Ludwig. Wow. A blue bass drum, blue snare drum, cowbell, woodblock, and cymbal. And then for Christmas, I got a hi-hat. So I was about 10 years old. Cost about $100. Yeah. But I'm very lucky. My drum teachers, Tom Carey taught me to snare drum at Bobby Davidson's shop downtown Kalamazoo. Then I found another great teacher, Harold Mason, who taught me independency out of the Blue Book of Jim Chapin. And that's how to do right hand, ching, ching, ka-ching, ching, ka-ching, ching, ka-ching. And then you're going to read all these different lines for the left hand against that. Gada, 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 different things against ching, ching, ka-ching. So it makes your mind break up doing two different things. Then you add your right foot, you add your left foot. Now you're doing 4 different things at the same time. Then you want to sing and doing 5 different things at the same time. So once you break your mind up, then you can do wired.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I would have never known that as a kid. I didn't know that independence was that important, but it is. That drum teacher, Harold Mason, went on to play for Stevie Wonder. He played ding, 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 ding. The Stevie's jump on the kid. Ding, 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 and follow the stool. Go, I would see that as a kid. That's how crazy people were.
Wow.
They were crazy. People were nuts with music everywhere. Oh, you think you're good? Right around the corner is Randy. Go beat him. Go to Randy's house. Randy's killing it. Trying to get his drum kit. Everywhere are people playing music. You play guitar? Come to my house. We're going to jam the Who. I can see for miles and miles. You know, you're just playing all the time. Just play all the time. Because don't forget, in Kalamazoo, Michigan, Plano, Michigan, it's snowing a lot. A lot of weather. You're trapped in the house. So you listen to your music. You get a little high chair or a pillow or a cymbal, Python, and play along with the records. You're always with music. That's your getaway.
Right.
That's your getaway. Powerful, very powerful.
So, was your first big break musically when you started playing with Manhavishnu Orchestra?
Yes, professionally speaking.
Professionally speaking.
I went on the road with Deacon Williams' Soul Revival. That was very powerful to learn the Chitlin circuit, the ghetto circuit, going through the different states or going through Michigan and getting out to the West Coast. The people, knowing how to play for the people. Mm-hmm. But as far as professionally speaking, who opened that door, who I prayed on, how I'd ever make it, how I'd make it, it's so hard, was John McLaughlin. Mm-hmm. He let me in that band, the Manhavishnu Orchestra.
How'd you get the gig?
God. And John McLaughlin's big compassion.
Yeah. Did you have to audition or anything?
Oh, yeah. Play, grow with him.
Yeah.
Meditate with him, pray with him, all that.
Yeah.
Have the talent and have the willingness. I was so willing just to do whatever it took to make it with him. So it's just beautiful that he would have the trust in me, the faith in me, the kindness toward me. All those things open up, you see. It's really, really difficult. People can't understand how hard it is to make it in this music business.
How did you connect with him?
Spiritually speaking, his guru, I needed in my life. I needed to have a new direction. I didn't want to die like Jimmy. My heroes were dying early, and I knew I could die early. You know, we're sensitive people. You know, smoking the wrong thing, drinking the wrong thing, can take us out of here. I wanted to live. Mm-hmm. So I know that I learned that meditation, prayer life, the God way, I could live and be strong. I saw it in Vishnu. I saw how he was playing, his eyes back in his head, and just bullets flying out of the amplifiers. Clean, clear, strong forever. It put me in the fire. I saw it. Like Moses seeing the damn burning bush and God speaking to you, giving you the damn Ten Commandments. That's what it was like when I saw Vishnu play. He burned my soul. Like people get that when they watch Carlos Santana. But I got it with Mahavishnu, first and foremost. And I needed it because Jimmy died. He was my hero. I wanted to be his drummer. I almost got to him, but he was over. Because I heard he wants a combination of Mitch Mitchell and Buddy Miles. I can kind of fit that bill a little bit. Gone. It killed all of us. We all walked around with big knives in our hearts. We couldn't believe that Hendrix was gone. He was that powerful. He is that powerful. What he did was so incredible. Not just to the rock generation, but when he moved over to Buddy Miles with Band of Gypsy, it was like all the black people woke up. They were never in a rock guitar like that. Right. They were not.
They were like them
in the
changes,
ghettos, never into it. But now, boom, dude, whatever they got, it was just, I'm spacing out.
Well, I think Them Changes is a good example of like Buddy Miles singing.
Yeah, but also Jimmy, his great guitar solo. What's the one with he gets out there so much? Oh, Machine Gun. I mean, killer. I mean, you go in any black ghetto, they're playing that music now. That was never the case before. So I'm saying he just opened so many doors, man.
Yeah.
But talking about Vishnu heard that music too and could do it and do anything he wanted to do. And he taught me. Miles Davis said, listen, which is so important for musicians to think that way.
They certainly had, the fact they were in that band, it had such a great pedigree because Billy Cobham was the drummer before you got in there, right?
Billy Cobham warped my soul to this day.
Yeah.
I've never seen anything like him. No one has.
Was that how you got involved with Jeff Beck? Was through Manhavishnu, or how did he
Yes,
learn?
Manhavishnu was touring on our second album, Vision of the Emerald Beyond, and Jeff Beck joined the tour with Blow Blow. He was blowing up that album, Blow and packing people in. So everywhere we went was packed shows. And he had Bernard Purdy on drums.
Wow.
And so our band would play, and then Jeff would play. We play together every night. I developed friendship with him, with Jeff Beck. And then after our last Manhavishnu Orchestra album, Jeff said, come to London, and I did, to make Wired.
And that you ended up writing, was it 3 or 4 songs on that record?
4.
4 songs.
Sophie, Come Dancing, Play With Me, and Love Is Green.
Yeah.
And Play on Lead Boots.
Yeah. I think Come Dancing is the biggest song on that record. I think so. Yeah.
It was just a wonderful time.
Yeah.
Wonderful time, man.
What was a session like for Jeff during that time?
Jeff would be experimenting a lot. The Lead Boots, that was live.
Yeah.
That would be a live, so we actually ripped in the solo, just playing hard. But the next stuff that we get into, we cut it, and then he loved to come in the control room, set his pedals up, and experiment, making this guitar for this verse, using a different sound for another verse, using another sound for another verse. And that was the first time I've ever really seen anything that deep. And George Martin would just be very patient, watching him go through these different gyrations. So he found the right thing he loved. And then on a guitar solo part, he might take 10 different solos and say 8 of them would be like, okay. But then 9th or 10th would be like, awesome. It was like that. He'd be like just fooling around trying to find what he wanted. You watch him kind of fool around trying to find it. But then the sky would open up all of a sudden. Like, damn, that's the sky. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He was like that.
Did you find, like, with Jeff Beck in particular, stylistically, he kind of went through so many different incarnations, and it's sort of the last 30 plus years of his career, he was kind of mostly a Strat guy, using the whammy bar a lot to kind of produce his sound. Whereas in the 70s, he was moving toward that, but he wasn't fully there. But you kind of got to see him throughout all these evolutions. Because on Wired, he wasn't doing all, like, using the tremolo to basically find pitch for every note. Did you have any sort of, like, seeing him evolve? Like, was there anything remarkable that you remember about sort of finding him?
It's all remarkable.
Yeah.
Jeff Beck's all remarkable because he loved Jimmy. He was a great player, could do everything he wanted to do, and had big ears and had a big heart. All my cats have got big hearts. So to watch him just kind of go through his history, his soul power is beautiful. From Wired area, the touring of that time, and how much he loved jazz rock fusion, bringing that into his world, loving Mahavishnu, loving that world. Then he kept that jazz rock fusion alive more than anybody. Up to the very end, he was still playing Stratus, Billy Cobham work. If you join Jeff Beck, he's still playing jazz rock fusion music.
Yeah.
No one else is doing that anymore. He was.
Yeah.
And also, I have a private fantasy of Hendrix. When I played with Jeff Beck, it'd be like blowing with Jimmy too, because he could play the hardcore blues loud. Loud. Monitors, speakers, his amplifier, and the amp behind the thing. It'd be like power. And that's why cats like me, we had to learn how to play power. It's an acoustic instrument. But we hit them things, man, he knows it, it's on fire. And that's another big change in Jeff. When I first toured in 75, he'd be inconsistent. Sometimes he'd be great, sometimes he'd be still searching around. But when I toured later in my life, every night was a killer. He had mastered his discipline. We could be tired, we could be sick. We'd go on the stage.
Yeah.
Every night. Just on.
Yeah.
On.
Yeah.
On. People go to New York's the Madison Square Garden. People rush the stage just to look at him, to see and hear the power of it and the accuracy of it. And it brings them out of me too. If I see people just go crazy, I might hit the hi-hat sloshing open more harder to make more of a scene. And that will make Jeff do even more. Very reacting. Wow. Yeah, I gotta say it's true.
All right, Narada, I want to show you a little something with Jeff Beck here. I'm gonna hand you your headphones, and let's have a listen to this. I want you to tell me what you remember of this moment. I've kind of cut it down, but it should still give you a good enough reference point.
Right. Live.
Yeah, Rhonda.
Chicago, Rhonda Smith on bass. Jason Rebello on keyboards. Beautiful. Jeff always loved doing Nessun Dorma.
Yeah.
I'm honoring the spirit. That hat I bought him. That black hat I bought him. This is very big for Jeff. Because he knows this audience is his audience. And he lives for this. He lives for every note he's playing. Every note is perfect. Just what he wants. Right down to his white shoes. I said, where are the white flyers? Because he played different with the white flyer boots. And there's medals on his arms. Now, the timpanis. See, ring it up. Ring it up. For the climax. Climax. I'm going to cue it. I'm going to cue it. Off him. Off him. Off him. Off him. And... bash. See? That's the climax. Come on. Come on. Here we go. Bang. 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 Bum. Bum. Now watch it go this. That's Jeff at his highest. His highest on his knees. Ah. Ah. All the power you can muster.
Yes,
all the power you can muster. You leave it all on the stage. Every bit of blood, every bit of snot, sweat. There it is.
Yeah. And you said that this level of consistency, this wasn't just it just was a one-time thing. This was every night.
Every night.
Every night it was
Every
like this
night.
when he would perform this.
Yeah. But I must say, this is, of course, outdoors. This is a very big festival. Eric Clapton's big blues festival.
The Crossroads.
The Crossroads is a very big moment. Every year it comes. And so you're extra highlighted because, you know, backstage is Ronnie Wood. Backstage is Buddy Guy. Backstage are, you know, the Rolling Stones, some people back there like that, the singers and different, you know, luminaries. Bill Murray is hanging out saying, "Oh, you're dressing like the Wizard of Oz," making his little comments. I mean, it's, you know, it's all this hubbub going on, so it kind of makes it more of a special occasion. And you walk out there, it's like packed with people that are like wanting to see what you all gonna do. Yeah, see what I mean? Yeah. So it's like, I'm hungry for it. Give it to me. It's like a big mouth. You want to put the spoon in there. Shove the spoon right in there. And Jeff lives for these moments. Yeah. He lives for it. He can't wait for it. And me too. I love it. Yeah. I love the pressure of the whole thing. You know, like a prize fight. And then knocking the opponent out. Yeah. Feels good. Yeah. Feels good like that. Yeah. was that the ending song for the night? Yeah, we only played a few songs of that thing. Yeah, because everybody got like two songs. We played that in a Hammerhead. This funky rock bluesy thing. Yeah. You know? You know? A lot of power. Yeah. Then that. Yeah. Only two pieces. Well, you guys sound huge because it's just for you, right? You just have a keyboard, you get you on the drums, Rhonda on bass. Yeah. Rhonda playing the bowed, Jason being massive. Yeah. You know, massive. Yeah. And Jeff with all that martial power. Yeah. And he's got Pavarotti right there in the fingers, you know. And me on the drums. I'm beating the hell. You can't tell it, but I'm beating the hell. Yeah. Cymbals are beautiful. Toms are beautiful. Everything's beautiful. Yeah. We're all wearing some white because we want to be like angelic, you know, bring heaven and earth together. So everything's thought about. I always say, Jeff, wear your white flyer shoes. He played different with the white flyer shoes. Were you guys just like vibrating as you get off stage there? I mean, you got tens of thousands of people. I always like to get like a little glass of champagne, something like that. You know, a little several celebration. Yeah. But he put everything into it. What do you miss most about him? The teenage spirit. We're teenagers together. You know, like high school vibe. It was always like that with Jeff. This kind of high school vibe, like hot rods, cars, talking about girls, talking about fun. You know, he had a beautiful wife, Sandra, but the spirit of like, you know, have fun. Mix it up, have fun was always in the air.
Is that's kind of an element that maybe the public doesn't know about him? We only get to see him really on stage. He didn't do a lot of interviews or anything like that. Like, what was he like if you were just hanging out with him?
Tender,
yeah,
romantic. If we would sing like "The Long and Winding Road" by the Beatles, he might get a tear in his eye. So you have that kind of depth and sensitivity. Once I knew that he loved gospel music, I'd play Mejia Jackson before we go on stage. Those type of things.
What kind of music?
And that would get him in the mood for the depth of the show. Yeah.
What was he like when you first started working with him comparatively? Was he kind of the same type of guy, like pretty much the whole time you knew him, or did he?
Shy. When I first met him in '75, back then, he's very shy. Yeah, very quiet. Play powerful, but be kind of quiet. He was really observing Mahavishnu, because Mahavishnu was around that time, and Vishnu was like, whew. Vishnu listened to John Coltrane before he goes on stage.
Wow.
Vishnu listened to Indian music and John Coltrane, and Elvin Jones going at it, who also should be on that
Mount Rushmore.
Oh, of course, Elvin Jones. Just put him by himself. Just put him up there by himself.
What are we missing from music right now?
More Narada.
Yeah.
We need more Narada live. I'm Narada producer. I love, but I want to do more live work.
Yeah.
Because live work, I can just get crazy and sweat.
Yeah.
And I love working with the great guitar players and great people like that.
Yeah.
So that's what the world's missing, more live.
Yeah.
Right now I'm raising children.
Yeah.
11-year-old Kelly, 10-year-old Kayla, and 6-year-old Michael.
Okay.
And my wife's very needy. Needs me to be home for these kids.
Yeah.
But that's the world missing. Like, Carlos is out doing it.
Yeah. People
out doing it. I played with Journey for a while. That was fun. I missed the live aspect of just sweating and playing hard.
Yeah.
And having fun.
Yeah.
And not being so technical. Being more emotional. Like, that's emotion. That's not because I can play a billion notes. It's not like I can play in 7, 9, 11, 13. That's just emotion.
Yeah. Well, you can see how it's resonating with the group of people. Like, people rather see you take risks and bring something emotional to the performance.
That's what we're missing.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. We're missing Narada being emotional. We're missing anybody being emotional. If you watch YouTube with these kids, they're all learning how to play super fast. Really, really fast. But where's the emotion? Keep that. That's how Nina Simone hooked me when I was a kid, the emotion. It's like Jimmy Smith hooked me. His emotion was so deep. Art Blakey, chink, 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 chink. He can play anything, but he playing chink, chink, chink. On a record called The Sermon by Jimmy Smith. Just backbeat for 22 minutes. Just swinging hard. So I'm saying the emotion's where it's at. Hendrix, deep emotion.
Yeah.
Vishnu, deep emotion. All the greats had deep emotion. Muhammad, knocking that cat down. Listen. Great emotion.
Yeah.
Get up! He don't know what you. Surprise fight! Get up!
Yeah.
So I love life. I love God who created us. I want to feel like I'm doing my duty on the earth to make it a better place with great music and love and helping us love each other more.
Yeah.
That's something I've always loved about San Francisco and the Bay Area. When I was in Michigan, the love was so powerful from San Francisco and hate and Asper. It came back to Michigan before I went to college. It was like, they're transforming the world with their love power. Love flower children. They're opening their hearts. It got back to us. And a lot of us had to venture out to come and see it. What was going on? I went to Malibu. I heard Joni Mitchell's music floating around in Malibu. So beautiful. That was part of it too. The beauty.
Well, you're making your music still, and you got a new single that's out.
I got another one coming this month, another one coming next month, and an album dropping.
Yeah.
The album features Neil Sean on the track. He's killing guitar on my title track called "Still Yours for the Summer." It's a summer album.
Yeah.
Still Yours for the Summer.
Yeah.
I got an homage to Mahavishnu. It's called Mahavishnu with Ice Black playing guitar. It's beautiful. I should play it to you.
Yeah. And you got one that's a tribute to Sly, the late great Sly.
Yeah, it wasn't meant to be a tribute.
Yeah.
Because he hadn't died.
Right.
I was cutting what I love because I love him.
Yeah.
Then he happened to die.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God. So he said, well, it's a tribute to Sly, of course. But I wasn't making it as something like that for his death. I was making it for his life.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, he sure is a special musician that so many of...
He changed everything.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, Ray Charles made him. He made Prince. He made all of us, our generation.
Right.
That's how badass he was. As a musician, as a writer, as a phrases, knew how to do it.
Sure. And D'Angelo, as far as I know.
All of it.
Yeah.
But where it came from, Ray Charles and James Brown. I'm glad you came today. You come from Oakland, California.
Yeah, well, thank you so much, Narada, for your time today and taking us through memory lane and talking about all this great work. And thank you for all of your contributions to music. You know, you've had such an important role in shaping the way that we hear music and the influences that have spun off of you and mentoring people like Walter A., who have inspired a whole nother group of musicians and producers. So you've really, I think, done a service to us in so many different ways.
It's done with my child heart. I'm just a fan. I just love music and I love people. And I love the idea that we can do great things together. And I learned to never say no. Like if someone said, would you work with somebody? I think, well, maybe do I want to work with that person? Maybe I want to. But when I meet the people, I met the person, then I like them. So it's just my love for people and love for things that turns me on. Yeah. I'm turning like a kid. Yeah. I love it.
Yeah, well, thank you.
I love how music can touch us, man.
Yeah, I really appreciate it. Yeah.
And God bless you, too.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
And your family.
Yeah.
And your cat over here. What's his name?
Nico,
yeah.
Yeah.
One of the cameras over there. Yeah. For the people. I'm talking to you now. Love you. Respect you. Thanks for watching our interview. Yeah. God bless you. What's your show called?
Vertex Effects is the name.
Vertex Effect. In full effect. All right, now. Thank you.
All right.